How do you like those fake windows, man? You like?
It's good. It really looks like it's daytime.
I know, right? I'm
crazy.
Yeah, I'm almost set up over here. So.
Do you mind if I go reuse the restroom real quick?
Oh yeah, go for it, man. No problem.
Awesome.
Show off.
Hello and welcome back to The Economy Lately. I'm Anthony Smith, Chief Economist here at FreightWaves, and I'm here with South Turk. South, how are you doing?
I'm all right, Anthony. How are you?
I'm good. What is this, episode 8?
Yeah, episode 8. That sounds right.
Episode 8. Let's go with that. It's episode 8.
Hey, wait. You know why 6 is afraid of 7?
Why, South?
Because 9, 7, 6... No, wait, hold on.
South, is there literally anyone else that can do your job?
No, I signed my contract in blood, so...
That's what I was afraid of. So they get you. Anyway, I'm surprised we're both here after last week's episode.
Oh, you're right. We got blown up.
That's not what I was talking about. Anyway, we got to jump into this latest news of economic updates. So the first one we're going to jump into is going to be personal consumption expenditures, or better known as consumer spending. And when you look at this one, it's going to be broken down into 2 different camps here. It's going to be nominal and real. And you might ask yourself, what is nominal? You know what? No, you might ask yourself, what is real? You might ask yourself, what is self? No, you might ask yourself, what is the purpose for going on?
Anthony!
Yeah?
Do the show.
That's okay. So consumer spending, nominal and real. On a nominal basis, it increased 0.5%, which sounds great. But on a real basis, which really means adjusted for inflation, it dropped 0.4%. And that's going to be the detail that matters here. And that's what really matters. It's what's real. And you look at what's real and what isn't real, that's when you kind of break the details into the fake news. Can I say fake news?
Yeah, fake news.
It's fake news.
You say fake news, it's fake news.
Oh.
Does that make it real news then?
Like a double negative?
Yeah, I think so. So we're back on track. Real, go for it.
Back on track. Okay, so real. On a real basis, we saw that it was a downward movement of 0.4%. So that's showing that there is some weakness in consumer spending. And that weakness gets extended into consumer spending on durable goods. And of course, that's going to have implications for freight. But what really does that all mean? What really matters? Like, am I real? So?
Yes. We're real people, Anthony.
Yeah, we're real people. We're totally not vampires.
Don't say the V word.
I can say it if I am. You can delete that last.
Yeah, of course. We don't want to make the prince out this matter.
Okay, so jumping to our next segment, we got to talk about job openings. And the latest numbers show that there was 11.3 million job openings in the available U.S. right now. And so when we look at job openings, this is a downward movement a little bit slightly from the 11.9 million that was reported the month before. Now, even though this is a decline, it's still very much in that bubble territory.
Whoa.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Sal.
All right. Okay.
He's going to do that bubbles thing.
Bubbles! Gotcha.
He's going to clean this up. Anyway, we look at job openings. It's still very much artificially elevated. South, that's what it is. Try the special effect with that, right? And so when we look at this is going to be one of those areas that's a little bit concerning. Even though we're still seeing a lot of outlets are going to say, hey, it's still at historic highs. That's true, but that doesn't mean that there isn't delicious blood in that water. Now, right. When we're looking at the job openings in the employment market, this is going to be one of those areas that it's going to be a little bit late to react, like we mentioned in previous episodes. And when we're looking at job openings overall, we're still seeing that it's a little bit delayed. We talked about in the last episode that there's going to be delays in some of these monthly data sets. This is data for May. We're already here in July. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit more meaningful when we look at more timely data. So that's where things like initial jobless claims are going to come in, which we are starting to kind of see tick and creep up a little bit more on a trend or a regional week-to-week basis. So this is all going to be things that we have to take into consideration as we look at the entire landscape of the unemployment or the jobs market. Speaking of which, we're going to get unemployment that's not out as of the time of this recording, but it's still going to be meaningful for just solidifying this overall trend. And the last section that we're going to jump into for this episode that got released since our last episode is going to be the ISM dataset, and the PMI, or the Purchasing Managers Index, or now rebranded as the Manufacturers Index, showed that there was a downward movement to 53 percentage points. And that downward movement is still in expansion territory, and that's not going to be the biggest story of this release. The biggest story is going to come from that new orders component that now is reading at 49.2, now in contraction territory for the first time in over 2 years. Now that's telling, because as new orders get placed, those placed orders get produced, and those produced orders get shipped throughout the country, especially through flatbed. That's right, faux try. You get the bubbles, I get the faux try. It's an even exchange here, all right? So we're talking about faux try, and that's going to be an area to watch because we are seeing consistent easing in the overall capacity. Not that it's falling off a cliff or anything like that, but it is for sure easing. Still very much elevated compared to refrigerated and dry van, but it is starting to come down quite a bit, and you should take note of that. Now, when we take note of the new orders going down, we often have to start watching backlog of orders, which is also starting to decline as well, now reading at 53.2 percentage points, still in expansion territory, but this is now down 5.5 percentage points since the last month's print. And so this is going to be an area to watch closely as manufacturing continues to ease and slow into the second half of 2022. And that's going to do it for this episode of Economy Lately. But next week, we're going to keep a close watch on retail sales, industrial production, CPI, and PPI as well. All of those are going to be hard-hitting econ data sets that we're going to need to keep a watch on. But sadly, South and I will not be here next week. We're going to be off at a midnight blood drive convention for people.
Definitely people.
Not
Definitely people.
For people.
People.
See you in the next episode.